This is Rob Hall's squat workout. It's his first workout in reps. Last meet he did, second best total of all time in reps. So now, or excuse me, out of wrap with no reps. So now we're doing the next meet here in reps. So here's his last warm up with 665. Looks pretty good. Getting used to the reps. Looks like the learning curve's not gonna be nearly as steep as last time. So we got 735 pounds on the bar. Hits it. He doesn't look totally comfortable in his descent yet. He needs to slam it down a little bit harder because he's got the wraps that are going to slow him down a little bit. And it obviously going to help spring you up to the bottom if you hit it right. So he's going to have to get used to slamming it down just a tad harder. But still, nonetheless, looks pretty dang good first week back in reps. So much better than last time. No problem. Could easily do a couple more reps if he had to. Looked pretty solid. Good first week back. So here we go on to 495 pounds. He's going 3 sets of 3. He's taking about a 2-minute break between each set. These are compensatory acceleration sets. He's going to focus on each set, each rep. Perfect technique, as explosive as possible. So that's what you want to do with these compensatory acceleration sets. Hit each one without sacrificing technique or tightness. No leaks in tension. Perfect form, as explosively as possible. Really, this is a great chance to dial everything in here. Okay? Looks pretty dialed in. I'm very happy with this. So it's going to be very exciting to see. I think we're going to make a run up near 900, definitely well over 850 this upcoming meet at the U.S. Open out in San Diego. So even though this weight for Rob is light, you can see he's very concentrated, gets in the zone. He's not... checking text messages or anything like that. He's always focused on the task at hand. Looking very solid this workout. Good walkout, the same every time. They once did time Jack Nicklaus's how long it took him to take his club out of the bag and then hit the ball on the course, and it was like almost the exact same for all 18 holes. And Rob's becoming that kind of athlete, just totally dialed in. Okay, so next, after he finishes the speed squats, Rob's on a dead squat. So what he's doing here is, these are best done with safety bar if you have one, easier to get under. So about 2 inches above parallel, he's squatting the weight up. So see what's happening here? There's no eccentric or negative phase, so that's all Rob out of the bottom. Because obviously the eccentric, negative phase, you store elastic-like energy that propels you out of the bottom. Here, there is no elastic-like energy. It's all you against the weight. So when the so-called free lunge is over, you got to take over. So what happens with a lot of guys is, so a great athlete like Rob, he's going to be able to utilize that negative and stretch reflex effectively. It's going to push him out of the bottom. So a lot of times if he's going to get stuck, it's going to be a couple inches above the hole. So where he could get stuck is where this would take over. So, and this is a great exercise also for building starting strength. So for any athlete needing to build starting strength, rate of force development, this is an awesome exercise. Furthermore, because there is no negative or eccentric phase, you're not going to build as much muscle mass that way. So it's going to be very effective for athletes that are not trying to add additional muscle mass that need to stay within the same weight class. Take out the negative, you take away some of the hypertrophy effects, or training effect, excuse me. So here we go. Obviously, these have great implications for deadlifts too. Dead squat, deadlift, you're lifting the weight from a dead stop. Look at that. Looking pretty explosive because, you're never going to be as explosive as a regular squat in these, but that being said, he looks very explosive on these. He hasn't done these in probably 6 months, so I'm very happy with this. So next, we're on the leg curls, and so he did, on the dead squats, he did 455, 6 sets of 1 with a 45-second break. With the leg curls here, we need to find out what his 6-rep max was. That was 130 for 6. So what this does is the hamstring has 2 functions. Basically, it works as a synergist or assisting muscle in extending your hips. It also works to flex the knee. So a lot of powerlifters do great with getting that hip extension work, but they don't get enough of that knee flexion work, which is very important for staying structurally balanced and avoiding injury. So here's the last set. This is 200 for 6 reps, which is the entire stack. So obviously we're going to have to find a new machine, add some weights on it or something here. But I'm very happy. He hasn't done these in a long time, so it's very strong. Next one, a split stance Romanian deadlift. Rob did 3 sets of 3 on these. So as you notice, he's taking a staggered stance there. Back foot, he's up on his toe. So the front leg's getting most of the work. So we talked already about working the hamstrings with the knee flexion function. This is doing it with the hip extension function. And this is, this is very important. Unilateral work here, working one limb at a time. It's obviously can help eliminate any imbalances. And eventually, if you really push this exercise, you'd be able to lift more than you could, more than half of what you can do with 2 legs because of the bilateral deficit here. Very good, keeping a nice flat back. Looking explosive. Rob's having a great workout here. And very excited to see what he can do when he throws on the wraps. Training at Big Tex Gym. That's in Austin, Texas, right near Round Rock, Texas. Great gym, great powerlifting gym. I recommend visiting it if you're down in that area. Rob's going to be headed off to the cage up in Columbus this weekend. He's going to be doing a 2,000-pound total in 90 seconds. That's pretty exciting. So what we're basically doing is this week, this is from last week, this week he's training heavy 2 days, the first 2 days, and he'll do then he's going to do when he trains 4 days a week, the so-called final 2 days is going to be that quick total up in the cage there. So he's essentially training right through this because what's going to happen is he's going to be ready to roll and take this to a new level at the U.S. Open out in San Diego. So if he gets slightly overreached right now, in a week and a half, he's going to have a deload, and he can recover then. And coming into the meet, that would be different. So that's okay now, but obviously coming to the meet, we're going to be totally fresh because I always say, even if I don't have the fastest horse in the race, got to have the freshest horse in the race. And that's very important because, and Rob is looking very dialed in. And the thing that's interesting about Rob, too, keeping this in mind, is what makes Rob so effective is he's not somebody that's just stretching out here at the end. Rob's, a lot of guys are pretty good at one. They're usually really good. The better lifters are usually really good at one lift, pretty good at another, and not so great at a third. Thing is with Rob could literally be a single lift specialist and a damn good one at that in any of the 3 powerlifts. So that's what makes him such an amazing threat, and that's why I think very easily could be the best of all time one day, is because of that triple threat. And Rob is willing to work too. His work ethic is unsurpassed. It's amazing, and it's just exciting to see all this stuff starting to happen.